So I'll start with the running backs. You mentioned we missed Wadley and Butler both to graduation this past year, but we have two really capable guys coming back. We have Torrin Young and Ivory Kelly-Martin, who were already the number 3 and 4 running backs last year, so they've got some playing time under their belts. Torrin Young had 45 carries last year. Ivory Kelly-Martin had 20, and they both got the ball quite a decent amount. And Ivory Kelly-Martin is really a fast, shifty guy. Even though in just 20 carries, he's averaging over 9 yards a touch, which I don't care what kind of defense you're playing against. That's really impressive. And Torrin Young is a really big bruiser. I believe he's at 6'1". Just a really strong running back who is more of a prototypical type of Iowa running back, with Ivory Kelly-Martin being able to spell him. Not to get too ahead of myself, but if you remember back in 2016, LaShawn Daniels and Wadley both combined for over 1,000 rushing yards. And I really don't see a reason why these two can't duplicate that kind of production, albeit this offensive line probably isn't nearly as strong as that one was. I still feel really good about the situation in Iowa's backfield, especially with, like you said, Nathan Stanley coming back. 26 touchdowns last year, just 6 interceptions, and he has over 70% of his receivers returning. Noah Fant comes back. He had 11 touchdowns and just under 500 yards for 30 catches. Iowa's number 2 receiver and Iowa's number 1 receiver comes back too, and Nick Easley. He had 5. Nick Easley actually was just awarded a scholarship yesterday, I believe. He was a walk-on from a junior college in Iowa Western. Him and Stanley really had a great connection they built together. And TJ Hawkins, again, Iowa's second tight end. He had over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's another really reliable receiver. I feel really good, almost too good, about this Iowa offense, which scares me, especially considering that our center, James Daniels, declared early for the draft as a junior. Center is always a big part of Iowa's offensive lines. But that's what Iowa does. They plug and play. All they do is they build offensive linemen, and it's next man in. And if there's one group I'm really not worried about, it's the offense this year.